There we go.
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello.
Let me turn this
Mana
down because
mana
you're
dee
going to start
dee
screaming.
dee dee dee. Mana mana dee 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 dee. Mana mana dee 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 dee. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da. Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday Live, my Tuesday tribe. On Tuesday Live, we're all gonna get organized. I need to write a real song about that. A real one.
Maybe while you're on vacation.
All right, maybe while I'm on vacation and for the next 2 weeks. So good reminder, Susie. Everybody, I will be gone for the next 2 Tuesdays, and then I will be back for the first Tuesday in July,
which is 4th of July. Are we going to have it?
Is that the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Ooh, we may not have one on 4th of July either because all of you will probably be out celebrating with your friends and family. But there is a ginormous sale going to happen. Not love to organize. Freedom from clutter on 4th of July. Get yourselves ready. We're going to have a great big sale that day. So I guess I wasn't supposed to talk about that yet, but that's the beauty of coming to Tuesday is that you get these. 4th of July is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we probably will not have a Tuesday live. I will probably send Susie off to have fun and barbecue. I might pop on and talk about the sale a little bit, I guess, depending on what's going on. But so for the next 2, possibly 3 Tuesdays, no Tuesday live. We'll put a hold on 4th of July. If I pop on 4th of July, it will just be kind of a here's what's happening on the sale, the things you don't want to miss. Yes, exactly. So welcome everybody. Let's just address the elephant in the room. The website looks like we're out of stock on everything, and that is untrue. There was some new web warehouse management software uploaded last week, and for some reason, that is preventing stock from being actually loaded into the website. So everything, well, not everything, but many things are in stock and unavailable because of that problem. So I apologize for that. I know it's really frustrating. They are working on it. Well, they have been working on it, but they thought they might have everything up and running before I went live this morning. So hopefully at any point they're going to get all of that going, and that'll be exciting. So if you can just hang fire on that. We do have fab files on special all week, or they will be when you can buy them, 3 for 2. So if you have questions about fab files in particular, today's a great day to ask those questions. Fab files come in 4x6, 5x7, 6x6, 8x8, 8.5 by 11, 12 by 12, and 2 album storage sizes. So there's a fab file for everything. Most of them either come with pockets or file folders. Of course, the album storage boxes do not come with either of those things, but they will be on special all week. If something happens, we may extend the special, but they should be 3 for 2 this week. Also, this week, we have the third Thursday 3 for 2. That's this Thursday, and the 3 for 2 this Thursday is going to be paper takers. So if you are needing paper takers and or fab files, Thursday you'll be able to get 3 for 2 on both of those product categories. So make your list, go into the product grid page. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's totally-tiffany.com/product-grids, GRIDS. And all the product grids are there, including the new Buddy Bag grid, which lists the Faline and Chastity at the bottom. And then you'll be able to know what sizes you need of both the paper takers and the fab files. But happy today to answer any of those questions about paper takers and or fab files. Back in stock, also on the back in stock tab, you are going to find Spinders, the Vertical 4 scrap rack page, and the Simply Squared scrap rack page. Both have been out of stock for a long time. They're in stock, but they're not available. I don't know. Sorry. Just, I guess, I don't know. We will get Jade to send out an email. I'm going to write a note that says, hey, everybody, it's all good.
Modern technology.
Yeah. So if you're on the email list, I'm writing myself a note. I don't know how to spell to myself though. Okay. So
As long as you can read it later.
all right, now I have an unpleasant thing to discuss with all of you. Please keep politics out of your posts. You know, half the country is conservative, half the country is liberal. We are having a hard time agreeing on a lot of things. But I want you all to think, one of the problems with this weird thing that's going on with politics where people are just pitted, I mean, it's just it's never been,
You can't have a conversation.
it's never been like this. So
Yeah.
please look for the things that we share, the things that bring us together rather than the things that divide us. And we are very lucky as a group because we all share this love of crafting, card making, scrapbooking, doing things together, and really just enjoying each other as crafters and friends. And even if you disagree on this thing or that thing that's outside, think about how wonderful life would be if we focused on what we share in common rather than what we don't agree on, right? You're like, life is so much richer when you are doing things that are joyful and fun, and you can be friends and you can love each other even though you're on separate sides of the aisle, so to speak. So please keep politics out of your posts. It's painful for me to go in and delete posts or block people or what, all that stuff that popped up. So that's it. Okay. Don't figure out a way, if you have a question, to not include politics in it.
It's all about crafting.
Yeah. And really, really try to, if we stop thinking about politics, I hate to be on my soapbox now, but I believe that the vast majority of people are right in the middle in this country, right? And I think there's so many things we have in common and so many things that'll bring us together and so many things that we agree on that we should focus on those things, and especially in this forum. So we all love crafting. So keep your love of crafting and your crafty friends here, politic free. All right, that's it for that.
All right. You want a good question?
I need a good question. Bring it on, Susan.
All right. Tony Cogren wants to know, which is better for traveling, paper takers or fab files?
Which is better for traveling, paper takers or fab files? Probably paper takers for a couple of reasons. When you say traveling, I'm assuming you're taking project-based stuff. So paper taker versus fab file. Paper taker, fab file. So these are both 6x6. The nice thing about paper takers is that they're more flexible. If you're cramming them into a bag or into a suitcase or shoving them under the seat of the car, whatever you're doing, they've got a little bit more flexibility to them than a fab file. They're also smaller, narrower, right? So you're not going to get as heavy. So not as important with the 6x6, but when we're talking about bigger, heavier things like 12x12, if you're traveling, this is going to be easier to move around with because it's smaller, because it's narrower. So for travel, I would probably say paper takers. Now, if you have 6x6 fab files and you're going to a crop or a class, that's different than what I'm thinking of traveling. Traveling means, I'm defining it in this context as I'm going somewhere on a trip to do something, and I want to have something crafty with me. And that's when a paper taker or a couple of them are going to work really well, especially if you're using like the 12x12 paper taker and you're putting everything for that project into one nice, neat, tidy little bundle. So my gut reaction is paper taker for that kind of travel, but you can certainly put your fab files, although they're heavier significantly, into a tote if you're going to a crop or class without having to reconfigure everything. But
Well, if you're flying,
if you're flying,
then you got to consider the weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Susie say if you're flying, you got to consider the weight. So that's going to be helpful too. But anyway, so I would say paper taker over fab file for that kind of travel. All right. Let me zoom in on Leanne here. She's got, Jane says, what would you recommend for CC sparkle paste, glitter paste? I love the Chastity Buddy bag for glitter paste. I have one right here loaded with glitter paste, actually. Let me grab it. So you can get 12 of the glitter pastes in the Chastity Buddy bag. Now, you can also use a Merle, right? She won't hold as many. I think Merle holds 9. And they just lay out. And either the Merle or the Chastity, if you have the spatulas that go with it, with Merle, they're just going to sit in the side of the bag. With Chastity, you can just put them in the back part of the bag. So you can have those glitter paste spatulas right with your glitter paste. So either Chastity and any Merle or Edna, of course, you can use either one of those for that. I wonder if I have one that has that in it. No, I don't. I do not. But let me see if I have an empty. You know, at one point I had all the buddy bags empty under here, and then I fill them up with things. But and I need to put another one there. But Merle, Edna, I think those are going to get 9. Chastity is going to get 12, and both will hold your little spatulas for that. All right. Before Susie gives me another question, Jessie Marie Conger put up a picture that of buddy bags on these little skinny shelves. And I believe they're Monica's. And Jessie, if you're online, you could confirm that. I did ask in Facebook. And she put the label in the back side. So they're sitting on the shelf backward. And she used this whole space to label big card blanks, pre-cut strips, whatever it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it made it really, really visual up these little skinny, she's like a little skinny wall with this little shelves on it. And it was fun to look at and easy to find. And I loved it. And so I thought that's a good place to put a label in the back of the buddy bags. Or you can fill your whole side of a buddy bag with a piece of card that has a label on it. So you have really big font there for what's in the bag. But I love that picture. And thank you for sharing that with us on Facebook. But I'm pretty sure it was Monica bag. Someone asked. Hard to tell because I don't really know the dimensions of that wall, but pretty sure it was Monica. All right. Let me check in here with Leanne. Remember, if you are putting up a question, if you put the word question in all caps or you put a bunch of question marks, it makes it easier for Susie and Leanne to see that question.
All right. Question. When buying multiples in 3 for 2 sale and select 3 6x6 and 3 12x12, does the software discount the lowest price, making discount 2 6x6s?
I don't know. That's a good question. So she's asking if you're buying on the 3 for 2 and you buy 3 6s and 3 12s, obviously the 12s are more expensive than the 6s. Is it going to discount 2 6s because they're the least expensive? I don't think so. I think you're going to see, and you'll see it in your.
Buy 3 of any one item, right?
You don't have to. You can mix and match.
Oh, okay.
So you can buy anything on the Fab File page that has that 3 for 2 dot on it, and it should discount the least expensive item. And then I think it moves on to do the next group of 3, the least expensive item that way. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. But you'll know when you get to your cart. That is how it should be set up, though, so that you, that you get the best advantage without having to place multiple orders, which would be silly for them to have it set up like that. I'm gonna check though too, just so I know.
Right. Trisha Hamilton wants to know, do you ever take bag name suggestions?
Do we ever take bag name suggestions for buddy bags? Of course we do. So yeah, if you have a bag name suggestion, usually the buddy bags are named after somebody that is really helping other people to make making a contribution with the Get Organized Challenge group. on Facebook. As you know, there's a bazillion questions that happen there, and we couldn't possibly answer all of them ourselves. So people who answer a lot of questions there and are helpful there post regularly. If you're a regular poster, we're seeing you share your uses for TT product. That's how Cindy and Lisa and Barb and Terry and all those girls all ended up being immortalized in clear vinyl with a buddy bag. So, but we always take suggestions. So if you think somebody's would be a good candidate that's on that Facebook group, that would be awesome. All right. From Leanne, we've got Debbie asking, what do you recommend for someone who wants to start to remove stamps from wood blocks, something in 4x6 or 5x7? Yeah, I would definitely say wood block stamps are not particularly large, so you could go with 4x6 over 5x7 in that scenario. If you're already using a lot of 5x7, so I'm going to say the 5x7 fab file and the 5x7 pockets for those stamps that you're removing from wood. If you're already using a lot of 5x7s, then it's easier to keep things lined up or stacked on top of each other that are the same size. So if you're already using the 5x7 fab file with the 5x7 pockets, I would definitely say that that is a great option for storing those items. And easy to label the pockets. If there's just two, maybe 1, 2, 3 stamps in there, it's going to be easy to get the label on the pocket as well. So probably the 5x7 is going to be about the best. When I took mine off wood stamps years ago, I put them all in my scrap rack. That was before I had as many stamps as I do now. So it's rare that there's a stamp in my scrap rack. Usually if it fits specifically with a, what am I trying to say? When you buy a set, if it fits in the set and I have all the pieces, I might keep it in there. Keep things together, use together. And then once I use all the pieces for that collection, that's the word, then I'll put it in with other stamps. So, but probably the 5x7 is going to be the best. Again, not knowing the common size of your stamps. 4x6 may work better depending on whether you have a lot of small wood stamps versus a lot of larger, but I think 5x7 is probably the most universal size it's definitely our biggest seller for stamp and die storage. It also allows you to add magnets if you have dies to keep with the stamps as well. I'm not sure how common that is with wood stamps. So, all right, Cindy Posa, any updates on the new cart? No.
Yeah.
The short answer, no. I don't. Yeah. I'll put on my list again and see if we can push that, bounce that ball forward. Would be great. All right. Do you have anything for me, Susie, or should I go on here?
Okay, Denise Stillman, since my die file storage is full, what do you recommend I use to store my dies?
Cindy's die file storage is full. Is that what you said? Die file storage. Boy, I wish I had more die files for you, Cindy, because I love that option. I think probably to go with it depends on the size. The 9x6 in the Kirsten bag, if you have big dies, big stamp sets, then the 9x6 is ideal for bigger stuff. The most common size that people buy for dies and stamps, and probably the most common size that I have for dies and stamps, is the 5x7. Now, there's also the Karen Buddy bag. So the 5x7 fab file or the 5x7 Karen Buddy bag are great options depending on where you store it, how you use it, that type of thing. I would look at either one of those for your additional die storage. And I wish I had die files for you. I'm pushing that also. It could be great for HSN to bring that back. All right. I also wanted to talk, Cecilia Shigeya, if I'm saying your name wrong, put up a really interesting post. Doesn't have a lot to do with organization, but it kind of does, about she's retiring, she's making scrapbooks. She's going to have these amazing scrapbooks, and then what's going to happen to them? Are children going to want to take them? Is somebody in your family going to want them? What's going to happen with all your beautiful and lovely hard work? And it was an interesting post and a lot of different feedback from people about how they're handling that. as we get older, right, and our kids get their own families and they have their own things going on. And I have two boys, and they both love their scrapbooks, but neither of them want them in their possession right now. They're like, when I get married and then we have kids, that'll be fun, but can you just hang on to them for now? So there's it was an interesting post, and there was
it's different with boys and girls.
And it's different with boys and girls, and it's different when you have kids and when you don't have kids. I mean, there's all that different stuff going on. And I think the big takeaway from that was you creating things, crafting is something that you do because you love and enjoy it. It brings you joy when you're doing it. And if it bothers you that nobody is going to want your scrapbooks later, if that's one of your motivations for crafting is to pass something on, then maybe look at one of two things. This exact thing happened to my sister, where she made tons of scrapbooks, and my niece, her daughter, said, I don't want all of those. There's too many. So one thing to keep in mind is maybe if you're doing family albums, only doing one family album, family history album, and keeping that album pretty compact, right? And like major things that go on versus, and then do your own albums or your travel albums, knowing, like, just sort of accepting that maybe nobody is going to want those. So that's one thing to really think about. And the other thing is maybe there's something else you're doing craft-wise or could be doing craft-wise that people would want, which, and this came up in the post. Card making is one thing where you really get an opportunity to exercise your creative abilities. And then you can send off cards to somebody else and you feel like what you created has value to them. Also knowing some people will keep your handmade cards. My good friend Georgia loves a beautiful handmade card, and she will keep them and treasure them forever. And some people will put them, on the counter, on the refrigerator for a couple of weeks, and then they will end up in the rubbish bin. I think the biggest takeaway is you have to do it for you. And if you project your feelings onto somebody else or into the future that somebody else is going to do something with them, then you might end up with hurt feelings. So do it for yourself. And I guess you can always ask, right? Who wants this? Who's going to use this? And then know that. I will tell everyone, last week, my aunt, who was in her 80s, found out that I was going to Australia, and she sent me, I should have brought it out here. I got in the mail from her last week my grandmother's scrapbook from her trip to Australia. Yeah, it was really cool, right? And really fun, totally unexpected. I didn't even know my grandmother had gone to Australia. And so getting this book and with the pictures of her there and all the places that they visited, and thinking, oh, we're going here, that's going to be cool. I'm going to try and take this same picture that my grandmother took. And then I thought, I can combine her scrapbook and my scrapbook. Like, here's the page of her with the koala. Here's the page at the same sanctuary of me with the koala. And that would make a really cool book, and it's half done. Woo! So anyway, I thought that was a really cool option.
Lorraine Vaught says, maybe photographing in digital form takes up less space. And somebody else said kind of the same things, and the kids like the digital better.
So, which is another thing, is that we're still talking about what to do with your scrapbooks, right? Digitizing them and having somebody print them, like Snapfish, or I think that's what it's called, makes the books a lot smaller. But the other thing is younger people they're not as into like that tangible stuff, right? Everything is digital for them. So my sister does all of her scrapbooking, not all of it, but most of it, digitally now. And that way she can share her pages with everybody. And anybody that wants a printed book, she can print them a book. And anybody who doesn't still has the scrapbook pages digitally. So whether you create digitally or you scan them, you can create that digital book as well. And that kind of serves both purposes there. But mostly you need to be good with what your emotional connection to those things, to realize, is this my connection and I am projecting it out onto someone else, and then my feelings are hurt because they don't feel the same way as I do. So I think having a conversation with the people you expect to want and love your books when you're gone or as you hand them out might be really, really valuable, because they may say to you, I love the things you're doing, Mom. Could you make it digital? And then I'll just keep it, a digital copy of it, or then I'll print them when they're small or whatever. I'll also tell you something else. My sister and my mom went on this great little road trip through Texas last year, I think, and they did all the weird things. Like they went to the weird little museums and the weird little roadside attractions, and they had a great time. And
Did they go to Buc-ee's?
They went to Buc-ee's.
Okay.
Yes, Buc-ee's. It's amazing. If you haven't been to a Buc-ee's, it's amazing, right? Is there another word for it? I'm not sure. Amazing is the word. But she was able to make my mom, and she just made her this little book of all the things that were there. So maybe digital, even though you want to create physical things, just scan them and then you can create those digital books as well. But more important than anything else, it needs to be right for you. Like you need to have a conversation with yourself and then move on.
Okay. Anne-Marie Miller is asking, do you have 9x6 magnetic sheets, or is the biggest ones 8x5?
Anne-Marie is asking, do we have 9x6 magnetic sheets? No, we have 9x4, 9 inches long by 4 inches tall, and 8x5. The 8x5s work great in the 9x6 pockets because, here's a good example. You don't necessarily have to have a 100% of your die on the magnet, or if it's a big die, on the magnet at all. So the 8x5s work great in the 9x6 pocket. The 9x4s are going to go side to side and only about this tall. So they would also work in the 9x6 pocket. But either way, the 8x5 or the 9x6 magnet is going to work in the 9x6 pocket on that also. Okay. Something I always forget to say early on, I'm going to say it now. If you want to get into the drawing, you have to comment. So if you're new to Tuesday Live, welcome to Tuesday Live. Thanks for joining the tribe. We give away a $25 gift certificate every week. You got to get in the chat, and then Leanne randomly picks somebody at the end of the hour to win that $25 gift certificate. So make sure that you get your name in on the chat if you want to be in on that.
Back to magnetic. Where'd it go?
Susan.
Mary Weber, will the magnetic strips be back in strips in the hang cup holder?
Will the magnetic strips be back? Yes, they're probably not out of stock. That's just a weird thing that happened with it's happening with the website today. Might be fixed at this moment. I don't know. But the cup holders, if we're sold out of the cup holders, we're probably done with the hang and hold cup holders, although you may be able to find them at scrapbook.com. Possibly the Stamps of Life may still have some as well. So that's the little round piece that hangs on your hang and hold system. We do not have those. If they're not right now, I can't answer any out of stock questions because everything is showing as out of stock. So, but hopefully by the end of the day, maybe even by the end of the hour, we're going to have that all set up. One thing back to the last question, which went on my second page. When we're talking about children's scrapbooks, I'm all about the brain, right? So if you scrapbook your children's young lives or your grandchildren's young lives, and someone mentioned that their grandchildren like to look at them, there's a significant difference in memory for children of their early life who have scrapbooks, and someone looks through those scrapbooks with them on a somewhat regular basis as they grow. They actually retain and remember things that they did because they're constantly reinforced with that scrapbook. So from that perspective of brain building, it's probably the same for all of us. No matter how old you get, the more you look at and remember your trip or your experience, the deeper it's going to be ingrained in your brain, right? Which builds up those levels of information. So there is also that for children. This week, the unofficial Get Organized Challenge is going on, and Barb posted up a post about going public, and there is a blog post about going public and how important it is when you're trying to get organized, or anything for that matter, to tell someone what you're doing, and that kind of holds you accountable. So just wanted to give everybody a reminder that there is an unofficial Get Organized Challenge going on. That's Barb's turn, unofficial. I think it's official, right? But Barb does an awesome job with that when I'm not actually teaching one. So thank you for that, Barb.
Do you want a question?
Sure.
Okay. Lori Spencer says, can you please show the project binder, please?
The project binder,
She said she just
absolutely.
got one this week, though.
Oh, okay. So the project binder is awesome for project planning, right? So this is the Project Planner Memento Keeper binder. It has the big fat project planner pages in it. So this is an entire card kit that I have here. You've got your 3 gusseted pockets on the top. The most important thing to know about these pages is that they do have a giant 12 by 12 pocket in the middle, and people miss that. So there is a big pocket on the back. It is 12 by 12, but it's not oversized. But this middle pocket is oversized. So if you have 12 by 12 paper, look to the middle pocket for 12 by 12 storage of that paper. But the page, there are super gusseted. So this is also a Crafter's Companion kit that has paper, and it has a DVD and then some stamps and dies and that type of thing. This is an entire mini album, and you can see just literally like a big bulky stuff in there. So your project planner pages, they have little locking tabs on them. They're going to make it's going to be great for project planning. So that's what that is. And then I will show you another use, which is the memento keeper use. Which is the best one? Oh, so this is, I guess, this is London's, all of his high school, school graduation stuff, his original driver's license, some information about, when he was in the newspaper, cards that he received at graduation, his actual diploma is there. And then in this pocket is his actual cap and gown. Right? That's how big and bulky the pockets are. So the memento keeper, I'm not going to pull out the gown because then I'll have to refold it. But there's, yeah. So his cap, gown, tassel, they're all right here. This goes back to, that's what your kids want. And even in this situation, he said, just hold on to that, Mom, and then I'll take it, when I get married and have a family, and that's somebody will want to look at it with me. So memento keeping, craft project planning, and then also, this one's probably, this is everything from a vacation, photos, mementos, all kind of organized and ready to go, so that when I'm ready to put those albums together, everything is in there, all the little bits and pieces I collected when I was on my trip. So also for project planning, in terms of planning an album, it's going to work great for that as well. Now you can add in the Perfect 6 scrap rack pages, and that's going to help you actually lay out, and I might have that in here if I'm correct. Yeah. So these are the Perfect 6 scrap rack pages. And when I do this layout, we're going to talk more about this at the Get Organized Challenge. Barb's probably going to talk about it as she goes through as well. But this is a double page layout. So I've got 6 pictures in this pocket, 6 pictures in this, and I can do 2 12 by 12 layouts right here across each of these. So it helps to get your photos organized. You can use the 6 by 6, the Perfect 6 scrap rack page. I know it's showing out of stock right now, but it's not. Or the 5 by 7 if you usually print in 5 by 7, that page, and that will help you like organize your layouts with the mementos. And maybe if you bought special paper, special embellishments just for that particular event, they could all go in there. And then when you're ready to craft, it's all together in one place. So the Project Planner Memento Keeper is what this is. And there's your quick tour of that.
Louise St. here, Ringer wants to know what pages come with the project planner.
The
Project
project
binder. Sorry, the project binder.
the project binder comes with 3 project planner pages, and they're double-sided, 3 pockets on the front, 1 big pocket on the back, and then that big pocket in the middle. And you can really, each of those gussets is almost an inch, so you can put an inch of stuff in each side of that page. So they really hold a lot of stuff, especially memento kind of stuff, bulky things, so they're perfect for that. All right, anything else you got, Suze? Let me check on Leanne over here.
What do you use the Triangle Traveler for? Oh my gosh, a million uses.
Yeah, Triangle Traveler. So I will tell you right now, my favorite thing for the Triangle Traveler is cosmetics. When I actually travel, I'm going on a trip on Saturday. And the thing that I like about it is when you open it up, you can unzip all the pouches and keep everything contained. So I put my cosmetic brushes in the pouch to travel, and then I stand them up in the back pocket. When I'm using it, I open all the different compartments and everything I can use. So this trip I'm going on, there's 5 of us. We're all staying in the house together, which means I need to keep my stuff kind of contained, right? So in that little open Triangle Traveler space, I will have all of my bathroom things right there and easy to close up and move out of the way if we're sharing a small space, or even if it's just on the counter, it's going to take up just a tiny amount of space. For crafting, it's going to work for all different kinds of things, right? I have some that have an entire kit in them, like a resin pouring kit with all the resin pour stuff, the gloves, the sticks, all that kind of stuff. Stamping supplies, tools, your blending brushes, all of those kind of things. They're also awesome as we're coming into summer. I guess we are in summer, for summer road trip and kids stuff. So each of the little pouches can have card games or small toys, Legos come to mind, that type of thing in the little pouch. They're great in the car. And then if you're stopping at a restaurant, you can just take one of those pouches out, maybe with cards, maybe with Legos, go into a restaurant, and the kids have something to play with that's all self-contained, right? There are markers and a notepad, any of those type of things. So they work. I mean, I don't know what they don't work for. I mean, I guess big stuff, but if you're talking about organizing re-inkers, or, I have one that's all stamping tools. So it's got the brushes, it's got the clear blocks in it. It has this water spritzer. It has water pens. It has a bottle of ink pad, stamp cleaner. So they're really going to work for a variety of different things. Right now, I am absolutely loving mine. Matter of fact, I am thinking of taking each of the girls I'm traveling with one of them as well. That's how much I love it for travel. So it's great for so many things. Barbara says, any progress on the multi-double-sided tape dispenser I suggested last year? Yes, still on my list. I think it's a great idea. Unfortunately, I don't have complete control anymore of what gets moved forward and what doesn't. So, but it's definitely, it is not in the roadmap for the next year. I guess I can confirm that. Mary asks, I have lots of ribbon. What is the best way to organize them? Organizing ribbon, follow that 4-section system, right? So you're going to organize by rainbow, themes and sentiments, and then the calendar year, which is holidays, which sounds kind of weird. So these are, who are they? They are Merle and Edna buddy bags, right? So whether you're going by color, right? The goal is, if you need orange or red ribbon, that it is organized together so you can see all the different choices that you have. Or if you want Easter ribbon or St. Patrick's Day ribbon, right? You don't need to see all of this at the same time. You only need to see it when you need to see it. So I would stick with the 4-section system. I love the Edna and Merle buddy bags for ribbon organization because they also act as a dispenser, right? You can feed the ribbon out and then you can just pull it out. It doesn't roll all over the place. Pull out what you need, cut it off, and then put it right in, put it right back wherever you're storing it. So this is the number 6 slide stash and store, which also works great for getting things vertically You just saw how easy it was to pull everything out and look at it or go through it. It's very simple. I love Merle or Edna for ribbon storage. Now, if you are a ribbon junkie, some of you may look at as much ribbon as I have here and think, no, Tiffany, you probably are also a ribbon junkie. And you have lots and lots of ribbon. Get something large and flat. And the idea of under the bed large flat storage bins is a great thing to use, especially, well, you have to have under the bed place to put it, but organize the same way. Your rainbow, if you have themed ribbon, and when I say themed ribbon, I have a bunch of sports ribbon like golf, baseball, football. There's some other stuff like that that's kind of trendy stuff that you find at the craft store. And then, of course, all the holiday ribbon, Halloween, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving probably has ribbon. St. Patrick's Day, right? You get all those. But the idea is to keep those things together in the same 4-section system as we use for organizing everything else so that you can find it. So as far as Totally Tiffany products go, my recommendation is definitely going to be Edna or Merle Buddy bags. If you are a bigger ribbon junkie, try an under the bed storage organizer that you organize in the 4-section system.
I have somebody asking if the Triangle Traveler will come back in stock in pink.
Well, the Triangle Traveler, I don't know. I can't answer any stock questions today because the stock reports were not available because of all the weirdness that's going on. If we have them, they will be in stock in pink. I think Be Creative, maybe the Stamps of Life, maybe scrapbook.com. I think they carried all 4 colors. So they may have colors that we don't. They may still have in stock colors that we don't have in stock. Pink is my favorite. Pink is what I use when I travel. Okay. Just saying.
I have a question on your organizing system behind you. Are those functional or are they props? Meaning, do you craft with what is organized behind you, or are they props for your tribe? Does that make sense?
Yes. I would say 90% of what I have behind me, left, right, are actual things that I use. So when you look at these stamps, embossing folders, all the stuff that's in here, it's all labeled, it's all coded with a number. That's because I catalog everything. So it's here, and I actually go to my catalog and say, okay, I need, pocket number 405 for that stencil or whatever it is. 90% of it. So some stuff is not, I'm trying to see like what's, so like this paper organizer, right? This has green and yellow in it. It is set up as a prop, but I have green and yellow over on, I have 3 paper carts. On the paper cart, my green and yellow is set up the same way, but rather than move it back and forth, but I do come over here and take, like if I ran out of yellow paper on the cart, then I would come over here and get this. So some stuff is demo, set up so that I can grab it and show it. But obviously I have way too much paper to just put on this shelf, and then I wouldn't be able to fit anything else there. So I do have
got a group that all want to come craft in your
come and craft in the crafty casita. Yeah. So, but the majority of stuff is, and sometimes I try to have 1 or 2 of every things that you guys ask me about so that I know. So some stuff, like I'll have some ink pads that are kind of an off brand or whatever that I've had forever, but I need them dimensionally, so that are maybe dried up or whatever. So I have that kind of stuff. But the vast majority, like when my mom is here and we're planning a Sassy Crafter event, all of this stuff is in play. The rotating design boards, the cinch machine, something we're using all the time, the butt maker, it's all here. And even my mother knows that this is where you find the majority. So most of it is actually active crafting stuff. I do have my own mess also. Like, Susie comes in on Tuesdays and she always knows, like, oh, there's some thing going on. Like right now I'm working on stamps and embossing stuff for Sassy Crafters because I'm a little behind. Our Sassy event is on the 15th and I haven't done my part yet. But yeah, almost everything in here is actual use. I have a wall of stuff over here that's like multiple colors and multiple units of stuff that I might need to demo, but in terms of product, it's all in play. Come and craft, my friends, come and craft. All right, let's see, what do we have here? Barbara says, any progress? Oh, that I just read. Mary, I have a lot of ribbon, got that. Caroline, do you know if the large Zip & Store would fit the Creative Memories 12-inch trimmer? No, it will not. But again, Tuesday Tribe sneak peek. I just put together a 7 or 8 new Zip & Store bags. I don't know the dimensions on the Creative Memories trimmer, but if you get them to me, or I might be able to look them up, one of the bags.
I have another question on Zip & Store.
One of the bags is designed to hold like my guillotine trimmer from Crafter's Companion, and it also fits my Cricut trimmer and my Fiskars trimmer, the long skinny ones. So I'm working on dimensionally those bags that are going to all kind of pack in together if you want to pack them into one Zip & Store. So watch for that. It should be pretty fast into development.
Okay. When will Zip & Store be on the TT side? I can only find it on the Crafter's Companion side.
I don't know. When will Zip & Store be on the TT site? We don't have it in the US warehouse, which means it won't show up on the TT website because we are trying to make everything on the TT website ship out of the US and not have that weird where you get half the order from the UK and half from the US. So I don't know. Sorry. I can't answer that.
Pollock is suggesting you could hold a craft and organize retreat.
Yes, I could. Arizona's a nice spot to be in most of the year. Even right now, it's only like 85 degrees here right now, which is normally it's touching 100 at this point in the year. So we're having a very cool summer here. All right. You got anything else for me over there, Suze?
I think that's all I'm seeing right this second.
Okay, let me make sure I got all these questions. Yeah, so Zip & Store, yes, more coming on the Zip & Store. Y'all love the Zip & Store. Wait till you see the new ones, the way they work together and the dimensions. You're going to love them as well. So what other announcements do I have for you? I told you about can you do a quick check of the website, Susie, like on the FabFile page and see if we're good to go? Oh, shoot. I have this right in front of me. Whoa. The new Creative Scrapbooker magazine. So we have a double giveaway today. Now, sadly, with the Creative Scrapbooker magazine, you need to be in the continental US. So if you would like to win, they always send me 2. So I share one. So if you would like to win, if you are not a subscriber and you would love a chance to see Creative Scrapbooker magazine, you can put a post in right now or put a comment in right now that says CSM in all caps - I want it. And then Leanne will look for that and we will pick. But remember, you have to be in the US to just for shipping because it's right here at my house. So if you are unfamiliar with Creative Scrapbooker magazine, they have all kinds of awesome stuff going on in here. I always choose something in here to actually try myself, right? One of the technique tasters or the lettering or some photography tips. There's all kinds of good things in there. This month, conveniently, or I guess I was motivated by this magazine to get really, really play with glitter paste, which I talked about last week. And I meant to give this away last week, and I totally forgot that I had one to give away. So in the feed, type in CSM, all caps, and then I want it. And maybe Leanne will pick your name. and we will send you the newest edition
wants it.
of Creative Scrapbooker Magazine. Now, if you win the Creative Scrapbooker Magazine, please you'll need to email Leanne and give her your mailing address, and then she will get that to me, and I will get this out in the mail to you. I just want to know if they're in stock.
They're out of stock.
Okay, so we're not in, the things in the website are not in stock yet. So sorry about that. We are working on it. Okay, quick wrap up. If there's no more questions, if you need spinders or you've been waiting for the vertical 4 or the Simply Squared Scrap Rack page, you'll find those on the back in stock tab on the website. Even though it says they're not in stock, they are. And so when everything populates, those will be available if you've been waiting for, and the Scrap Rack as well. I mean, we've been out of stock on the Scrap Rack. That is also back in stock. I don't know why it's not on my list, but it is, and it will be on the back in stock page. Usually when stuff comes back in stock, it will be for a week. Is it a week or 2 weeks? On the back in stock category at a 20% discount. That's kind of a standard thing when we bring stuff back in. I always ask that we have it on special for people who've been waiting patiently for it. So it should be 20% off when it comes back in stock. I talked to the team there this morning about that, and it seems like that is not a problem. This week, when things populate, 3 for 2 on Fab Files, as well as our third Thursday, which is 3 for 2 on Paper Takers. And that will be Thursday, excuse me, all day on the Totally Tiffany website. The official Get Organized Challenge is going to be sponsored by scrapbook.com, and it will start on September 12th. So you want to mark your calendars for that. And I'll tell you something else. Oh, also a sneaky Tuesday Tribe thing. We are making these little sticker sheets with all of the Get Organized Challenge girls. And they will be, since scrapbook.com is sponsoring, when you place an order with scrapbook.com during a certain period, those sticker sheets with the schedule for the Get Organized Challenge are going to be a freebie in your order. So I will try to keep all of you aware of when those are coming out. You won't be able to get them from anywhere other than scrapbook.com. So a great little perk for being a scrapbook.com and Tuesday Tribe member. You'll see those little goodies there. All right, my crafty friends, I believe it is time to draw a winner. Let's see if our girl Leanne is ready to do that or has done it with 2 winners, I guess. So we have our CSM winner is Terry Hager. Congratulations, Terry. Make sure that you email customer service at totally-tiffany.com and give Leanne your address so I can send that out to you. Our weekly winner of the $25 Totally Tiffany Get Organized gift certificate is Christy Jedinak. I'm sure I did do a good job with your last name, Christy. So Christy Jedinak, if you are currently a Club Inspire member, you're in good shape. You just need to email prizes with an S at crafterscompanion.com and let them know you're the winner, and they will add that to your account. If you are not a Club Inspire member, join Club Inspire. It's totally free. And then email them and they will add it to your Club Inspire account. All right, my crafty friends, thanks so much for joining me today. Remember, I will be gone for the next 2 weeks, possibly 3 because of 4th of July, but I usually pop in when there's a big sale, let you guys know what the big deals are to watch for. So I may see you 4th of July. If not, everybody have a great couple of weeks. And Barb Carlson, thank you for doing the unofficial Summer Get Organized Challenge. And so for all of you who are needing to get organized, you can jump on with Barb and work through the Get Organized Challenge this summer for the next couple of weeks until I get back. Thanks, everybody.